Rapper Fetty Wap arrested and his $500,000 bond has been revoked after allegedly wielding a gun during a FaceTime video call.
Yikes.
So the background to this is that on Monday, he was allegedly threatening to kill someone on a FaceTime call. And so he was like, as they say, wielding. He was, showing his gun on the video call. And so this guy who's John Doe, but he filed an affidavit saying this had happened and that Fetty Wap had, been threatening to kill him. Okay, so now this was not good on a couple different levels. The biggest one, or one of the biggest ones, just being that Fetty Wap is now in jail. And why is that, Orko?
Because he violated his probation from his other arrests. He had a gun. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. When you kind of dive a little bit deeper into the story, the guy that he was threatening was doing some very harsh posting about his daughter who had passed away, and just saying some.
And this wasn't too long ago. I think she passed away in July of 2021. Not to say, it justifies it one way or another, but Fetty Wap's attorney that had offered that and just said, look, to the extent that this is true, he did violate the order specifically in regards to being out on this bond, who wouldn't be upset? And the judge is like, yeah, I hear ya.
Yeah, no, he was like, yo, I get it. Like, he didn't say, yo, I get it. But he said, I understand, I sympathize with you, but you had a gun and you were clearly threatening to kill him. And everybody, I think he said something like, I'm going to kill you and everybody with you. And I believe I read that they actually have the video. So he not only signed it, but then they also have some of the clips and stuff from it. They haven't released those, but they.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the video, but there is a signed affidavit.
I've seen screenshots.
And if that was obviously one of the biggest things that swayed the court. But Fetty Wap was indicted and arrested in October. Okay, this was along with 5 other drug trafficking conspiracy charges. So he has a world of hurt that he's dealing with right now, but he was out on this bond and he violated the order.
I think it would have been a completely different story if he just didn't have the gun. If he was just like, yo, when I catch you out, you know what I mean? Like as soon as I clear up all this other stuff, we are going to handle this like some gentlemen in the streets, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is he was going to say. But seriously, like just the fact that he had the gun, just even with him when he's already facing this much kind of trouble, like I get it. It's a lifestyle. It's hard. I'm not in his shoes. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like what he's got to do, but it's definitely, don't ever write down your death threats. Don't ever be on.
Well, let's be clear though. Yes, you're not, don't threaten to kill people. That's a whole thing. But specifically, the violation of the court order was that the court order said he must not possess a firearm, destructive device, or other weapon. Okay, so it wasn't even necessarily that he was threatening to kill this guy. Obviously,
but that wasn't good either.
It. But that he was told not to have a firearm, and he did anyway.
So it's kind of rough, but again, like I don't know his position, and his anger I feel like was justified, but obviously that's that's going to just, you have to protect yourself, especially when you're on probation. You just got to make sure that you're kind of keeping it clean. You got to get off probation before you get in more trouble.
And for those of you who are curious, so his daughter did pass in July of 2021. It was due to complications by a congenital heart arrhythmia.
That sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's always weird when you come after somebody and you're using their children. I don't even like it so much when, you see a lot of kids in paparazzi or even taking photos of kids. I mean, this is something completely different, but just like when you're calling kids into question and a lot of these parents posting their kids' social media and, I don't know. It's very, I don't know. It's very touching when you're messing with kids.
It's going to hit a nerve.
Yeah.
And obviously it did for Fetty Wap.
And that was the point. That was what the guy was trying to do.